My name is Colleen Williams, and I'm a program manager. I'm actually on the Edge product groups. I'm on what's called the Enterprise and Security team, and so we build all of the enterprise and security features. I'm going to talk to you today about security in Microsoft Edge. Our favorite topics, security. I think we all struggle balancing productivity and security. How do we continue, to be productive while remaining secure? I think that that's a problem that every company faces. It's very interesting. $3.86 million is the average cost of a data breach to a company. And apart from the financial costs, you've got the trust and reputation is broken. You lose customer business. The resourcing that it takes in order, you are stopping work in order to figure out the data breach and fix that. And so it's top of mind for everyone. And desktop browsers, it's the key to the internet. Any browser remains the primary attack surface in the enterprise. And it's very easy to trick a user into clicking something, saving something, downloading something. We have all done it. I don't care who you are, you have done it. The user sees a normal looking website with on the back end the evil creatures lurk, and we want to make sure that everybody is safe and secure. So as I referenced earlier, balancing productivity and security. So we want to allow unrestricted browsing, the open network, but that has risk to the corporate network. We have to always think about keeping corporate network and data secure. We've all seen those breaches that I alluded to earlier. We don't want to see your names in the papers the next day. Restricting access to approved sites only, and that impacts employee productivity. I think we've all perhaps have experienced that, and we sit at our desk grumbling with, I'm just trying to do this one thing, but you can't because your security team has locked it down. And hard to balance between employee productivity and security compliance. So you folks, some of your IT admins, some of you might be in the security space. Everyone absolutely is a user at all times. And so, like I said, tough balance between productivity and security. And keeping up with security, it's a full-time job, right? Malicious actors are constantly working to social engineer new forms of attacks on the browser. They remain the primary attack surface, like I said. Everybody uses a browser to get their job done. So getting access, those bad actors trying to get access to that corporate data and information isn't what we want to see. Protection or detect/response strategies can't guarantee 100% safety. So this is where, having really a great security story within your company all up, the M365, if you're within the M365 umbrella, your subscriptions of E3 or E5, you have a lot of options available to you from a security perspective. We do have some features, out of the box, with Edge that helps with security, and I'll talk through those. This is one of those where we, assume breach principle. So an attack is going to happen. So how can you prevent it? This mindset requires building defenses to contain the blast radius to limit the damage. So I know this sounds a little doom and gloom, but security is top of mind. We've seen that throughout the years. And so we want to make sure we're staying on top and innovating where we need to innovate in order to keep people and corporations secure. So starting with Defender. So that protects against phishing, malware, malvertising, malicious downloads. You may have seen this red screen if you're trying to get to a website where we've detected that to be unsafe. It's based upon reputation. So the higher the reputation, the more that we understand that that is a good site. If a site is being detected as malicious and that isn't correct, you can go ahead and report that back to us, and we'll take care of that. We do about 8 billion lookups per day for SmartScreen. So that goes back to that reputation build, and approximately 2 million blocks per day based upon people trying to, again, those bad actors that I referred to. So how does it work? So Edge passes information about the URL back to the SmartScreen service to start the reputation check. The check compares the site or file against the sites and lists that we have. And it's all made with a TLS encryption. TLS came up a couple times today. And then the service returns the results of the reputation check which may lead to Edge showing that red screen, or there's no red screen and you're good to go. One of the newer features that we've added over the last year is PUAs, potentially unwanted apps. So these can be ads, crypto miners, torrents, security evasion. And so we've expanded past the phishing and the tech support scams and the malware and added in the potentially unwanted apps. So this is what that looks like. So this app is potentially unwanted. We give you a message. Again, it's based upon reputation. You can go ahead and report the app as repeatable. Again, as we learn every day about what is good, and the user can make a decision from there. Browser isolation. So this is a security model that aims to protect enterprises' network and devices by physically isolating away the end user's browsing activity and its risks. So with 2020, you saw we aren't really sitting at a physical desk in a physical corporate-owned office on a corporate-owned machine. Now we're working from anywhere. There's still corporate-owned machines are quite more normal, although some companies are looking at how can we manage allow access to corporate information through a personal device, and I'll talk about a little bit more about what we're planning there. So there's client-side isolation, so the isolation tech that utilizes the end user machines by configuring hypervisor and firewall on the device. That does require a higher device capability, a higher end device. There's server-side isolation. We call it remote browser isolation, or RBI for short. If you are baseball fans, you might get confused a little bit on the RBI acronym there. So this kind of isolation can be deployed to any device that is capable of web browsing, typically requires all the browsing to go via a central proxy. Into the features that we have available. So application guard is available. So this moves browser sessions to an isolated environment. So if, it's controlled via a site list. So typically what we see is sites that are on the intranet are trusted, and sites that are on the internet could be considered untrusted within corporations. And so that would be you're thrown into this separate. The corporate network is completely away. Nobody can access that, and you can see that application guard. You'll see a little symbol up here when you are moved over there, and provides increased protection and hardens attacker favorite entry point. Again, remember, it's easy to trick a user into doing something. This is how AppGuard works. So for those of you who want to get geeky about it, so this diagram shows how it works and down into the kernel. This is available on Edge Legacy. It's available on Edge. You do have to have Windows 10, 1809 and above. It is not available on the home SKU. And again, a higher end device is required here. Some improvements that we have made in AppGuard based upon feedback from customers. We've expanded into extension support, and I'll go through these. It's very hard to be on the internet without an extension. So this helps IT admins protect devices for being used to reach the corporate network, and the extension is available in AppGuard. As you can see up here in this red box, you've got the AppGuard symbol, and then an extension has been able to be installed there. Traffic identification. So some enterprise customers are deploying AppGuard with a specific use case where they need to identify the web traffic coming out of AppGuard container at the proxy level. This has started as a version 84, so it's been around a while, but again, based upon feedback that we got from customers. Another pain point, it's one thing to build a feature, it's another thing to provide troubleshooting. And earlier, some people showed the troubleshooting guide on for IE mode. We built in a troubleshooting guide for AppGuard. So this can identify what's going on in the diagnostics page and check the URL trust based on the configuration of the device and shows what may be going wrong with the feature. Conditional access. So this it enforces identity based upon device or app data and risk before allowing users to access resources. So I think if you are in an M365 environment, the Azure Active Directory, conditional access is available. And this is natively supported within Edge. You do not need an extension or anything else, but based upon your subscription levels, conditional access is available within the browser. One thing that we talked about last year is data loss prevention as we ship to feature. So this is a system of technologies that identify and safeguard sensitive enterprise data from unauthorized disclosure. Again, think about things that you've done, and we've all done it. You're copying and pasting, and it might be work related, and you accidentally paste it into perhaps a social network, and that's not what you want to do. And so we want to make sure that, again, the corporate information is safe and secure. So 88% of organizations no longer have confidence to detect and prevent loss of sensitive data. Oops. Greater than 80% of corporate data is dark. It's not classified, protected, or governed. There's a lot of information out there within our corporations, and it's really hard to kind of monitor that. Enterprises want to protect, customer information, financial information, health records, credit card numbers, intellectual property. Compliance comes up over and over and over again. So business standards and industry regulations. Think about the financial sector, healthcare, education, government. All of those things are very, very much, in play in making sure corporate information is safe and secure. So protect and govern wherever it lives. So understand your data landscape. So this is where you know your data, which leads into protecting your data, which leads into prevent the data loss, and then govern your data. Automatically retain, delete, and store data and records in a compliant manner. So this is all available, through the platform. All right, so monitor for risky activity, educate users in context to make the right decisions. My next slide will show kind of what that looks like as we message to the user, and enforce restrictions without inhibiting productivity. Again, goes back to let's keep everyone and our data safe and secure, but people still have to get their job done. And so as you can see here, this person is trying to copy and paste something. So your org has protected the content you're trying to drop. So do you want to proceed? And so this really makes the user stop and think. Wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I sharing? Where am I sharing it to? And is that the right thing? So talking to the user and educating them is super helpful with this feature. This feature is available at GA'd in October. It is built into Windows 10, again, based upon your subscription that you have, for E3 or you need an E5 subscription for this. Cloud delivered, built into Edge, plug and play for the MDAP customers if you own the license. So readily available with your E5 license. We've got policy control. So, there's the copy and paste that I showed. But if you look here on the bottom here, cloud egress, you can go ahead and block some of these other things. Copy to USB, copy to network share, access from unallowed apps. So you can go ahead and help figure out the policies of what you want to have available in your network. And then you can have email notifications based upon severity of events. So you want to set up an email or an alert when somebody matches, the rule gets matched. Use email incident reports to notify you when a policy match occurs. So this can help. Maybe there's an area that people are hitting over and over again. And so what, as an IT admin, what can you do to help in that space? What more education can be provided? What features can be added to that type of thing? Not only do we get asked from IT admins about policies and being able to manage all the features, it's also about monitoring and alerting. So, this really plays into that. One of the things that I did mention is we are working on being able to, it's called MEMDLP. So this is regardless of wherever you're working, you know, in our remote environment, there is customer demand to enable MEMDLP on unmanaged, you know, bring your own devices. So this supports a multiple device for the end user. So this allows you to manage the corporate information that the user is trying to access without having to manage the whole device itself. And so this is a work in progress. I don't have a time frame yet, but this is in our roadmap. Resources to learn more. We do have a lot of documentation on our security. So aka.ms/edge more secure shows you how and why Microsoft Edge is the most secure is more secure than Google Chrome for your business in Windows 10 with the built-in phishing and malware, and then the additional features brought on by M365 subscriptions available to you. We did videos that goes deeper into each of these features on SmartScreen, browser isolation, and Endpoint DLP. We have a lot more videos on the Edge YouTube channel as well. Those are all from September at Ignite. A lot of them are very much still relevant. We will be doing new videos for the March Ignite that Julie mentioned earlier. So those will be coming starting March 2nd. And again, reference to anything that you need, any help that you need regarding, you know, deployment, questions, compatibility, Premier support, your contracts that you have. All of these resources are available to you. So that, again, a whirlwind tour of security. We could spend 8 hours talking about security, and we have folks on the team who are happy to do so. If you want to, you know, connect and have your security folks go into more detail and analyze what is available to them, you know, natively. And Julie, I think that is it for me.
Thank you.